Hello everybody. Might not seem like a long time to you, but it seems like a long time to me since I've had a chance to actually go into depth on where I'm at right now. Well, where I'm at right now is on top of my roof, but where I'm at in my life, where I'm at with my movement, and some of you who've known me for a while know that I've been injured for quite some time. And the good news is that I am technically no longer injured. What was wrong with me? I don't know. I've been to so many different types of people at this point, trying to figure out how to fix my so-called knee problem. And eventually I did meet somebody that did have consistent results. Now, to give you a long story short, okay? There was an accident that I had when I was training one day, and I ended up hurting, like causing some major issues with my knees. I had a hyperextension and some other things were going on there too. I didn't get better after resting for a long time. It didn't get better, and I knew the protocol. Just wait it out. It'll get better. Everything always gets better on its own. Human body is an amazing thing, but it just didn't get better. And I was going to special, therapy to my friend of mine that's a therapist, and she did a great job, but it just wasn't getting better. And as I would get back into doing activity, it still would start to hurt again. And pain is an interesting thing because pain manifests in way different ways than what is actually wrong inside your body, okay? And everybody deals with pain very differently. To some people, it might be excruciating pain. To someone else, it might just feel like an itch. Pain's very interesting, and there really is no. The studies that have been done on pain, they don't show consistency. They don't show consistency in what this pain actually means. They just know that pain is a way of telling you that something is wrong, okay, and that you should pay attention to it. But regardless of that, I decided that this thing that was hurting me, it wasn't going away. I needed to look into it. So I started going to different types of specialists. A friend of mine that specialized in isometric training that was getting me a lot stronger, and it was having some results. But then then I started thinking, okay, there must be something even worse with this, because it's still situations were happening, it wasn't getting better. And it could have been maybe that I just didn't stick with it long enough to see better results, but I wasn't feeling like it was working in the way I wanted it to. I went to a surgeon who looked at an MRI and said that I needed to have surgery. And to me, I thought, well, that's, I started raising money for it and everything, and to me, I thought there has to be some way to work through this that doesn't require surgery. So then I went to someone who does muscle activation technique, and they had great results with me too. But it's still, I kept them having to come back, it would keep coming back. And then I went to somebody. Then I started looking up things that like FRC, which is functional range conditioning, and it gave me some great results too. But still, I was having some issues with it. And then I finally went to someone that does a combination of FRC and PRI. PRI stands for like Postural Realignment Institute, I believe. And here's the thing about all these different types of therapies, okay? There's no one therapy. I even did acupuncture as well. I've been to so many different types of things. The only thing I said I wasn't going to do was go through surgery, because technically if my leg isn't falling off and I don't have a torn ligament, I really don't need to have surgery. Or there's some kind of life over limb kind of thing going on, right? So I just didn't need that. I didn't think that was something that I needed to do, because I was still able to do so many things. And then going through surgery, well, that would require someone to cut you open and do stuff to you. So it's it's a scary thought, for one. Two, it's expensive. It's very expensive. My insurance didn't cover it, so I had to raise the money for it. And then three, I just felt there had to be a better way. And the more research I did, I realized that there were plenty of ways to kind of go about doing this, but I knew it was going to be a process. Okay, I knew it was going to take a while. And I think that's the main thing you have to kind of take away from all of this, is that, it might take a while, okay? You can't go into a situation that you are experiencing a traumatic change in your body, and then expect for someone to give you a pill and just take that all away. If they're able to do that, there's usually some kind of consequence down the road for taking that pill repeatedly. Okay, so the first thing we have to realize, that especially with movement, is that there's no one pill method. Okay, if you don't go down to the root cause of what's causing your aches, your pains, and things like that, it's just going to come back, okay? And we have to get away from that. So many people are trying to do these things that are amazing things, but you don't think about the stuff that is the unamazing things that really got you to be to where you are in the first place. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't think there was any one method that I went to that didn't have my care in mind. I think everybody gave the best that they possibly could to help me in the situation they were doing. And who knows, maybe if I had stuck with it longer with some of them, that I might have actually seen the same results that I saw now. But at the point, and even, I spent money on this, right? The surgery would have cost me $8,000. I probably have spent maybe close to a quarter of that in total, trying to figure out what exactly is going on with me and how to actually fix it. And in the long run, the person that actually ended up helping me said, I don't really know what's wrong with you. I don't know what that pain is that you're feeling. And it's true, because it can manifest in so many different ways. And every single person is going to have pain in a different way, because we're not all the same when it comes to dealing with that kind of stuff, all right? And you have different kinds of wirings in your body than everybody else does. Lo and behold, I'm here on my roof, okay? And the thing that's interesting is I'm back to training, okay? I'm back to taking impacts, drops. I can do flips now, okay? I can do jumping now. I can't do a ton of it right now because I'm still accumulating this resiliency in my body so that I can continue to do it more and more. But I'm back, okay? I'm back to where I feel like I can actually start to push myself to where I was and beyond, all right? And there's something interesting about that, right? Where I was and beyond, because I feel like I was doing quite a lot of, soul searching prior to this injury, and I was thinking, I think I've done my part in the parkour and free running world and the movement world, and I just needed to focus on, at that point I was thinking, I just need to focus on, maintaining what I already have. And I don't think that really is the way, okay? I think that, sure, there are some things I need to maintain because going beyond them could mean more risk than reward. But at the same time, if you're not constantly, in some way, pushing the limits of what your capabilities are as a human being, okay, then you're technically just deciding that, okay, all I'm going to do now is sit down and wait to die. Okay? And that's a very morbid way of looking at it, I know. I know that and I'm not just talking about movement either, there's plenty of other ways to do that with your life, okay? But I just want you to think about it. I don't want you to give up. Don't give up on the things that really bring you so much happiness just because you're getting some aches and pains, all right? You might have to wait a little bit. You might have to take a bit of a break, and that's all okay. But I think it is worth it to you to really push yourself to new heights. I think that's why I'm on top of my roof right now, because that's what I want to explain to you, is that there's so much that this world has to offer you, and so much that I think we don't really push ourselves to the limits of when we start to learn, okay? We give up way too early. And that's something I kind of figured out over and over again over the past couple of years, is that if I just would have done things a little bit more with a process in mind, that I probably could have experienced greater gains in certain areas in my life too. And so I'm seeing that now, and I'm pushing myself to do that now, and I've learned my lesson. So I hope you can do that too. If you're suffering from an injury of some type, you know, there are people out there that have studied this. I swear, they've studied it. There's always someone out there that's doing something, because people get bored and they want to develop cool things, right? So don't give up, all right? There's time for you to still develop as a person. And what you're going through, even if it's something that's chronic, even if it's something that is literally you only have 2 or 3 years, if you're productive with those years in some way that makes you feel like you're achieving something daily, then it's worth doing. Whether that's hanging out with your friends and creating better bonds, or whether it's developing yourself as an athlete and accomplishing the goals that you set out to do when you were a teenager or before that, right? It's worth it. So please keep going as this fly attacks my face. I want you to please keep on going and don't give up, okay? Because there's definitely more time for you to be productive, be the best human being you can be.